15 minutes to last call.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome to
The Mac Knows Worst with your host, Tyler McAnally.
You think I'm going out like Jesse James? I was like, y'all think I'm going to shoulder through you and jump off this 5th floor balcony?
Featuring Autumn the Glue.
It's like the Dorothy shoes. Click 3 times, your cousin shows up with a shotgun.
And Black Adam.
First you had my curiosity, now you have my attention.
Get ready to experience The Mac Knows Worst.
So there was something about a brass dick that somebody found.
Was it brass? I didn't think it was
know what
brass.
Copper?
I didn't pay attention.
No,
to what
I
it
don't
was
feel
made of.
Bronze? Was
I
it
feel like
bronze?
copper would have been tarnished. Maybe it was bronze.
been
Yeah,
bronze.
brass and copper don't make sense. Those are too soft. They wouldn't have
what she said.
survived that long.
No.
Yeah, well, you know, that's
Okay.
a very, very poignant statement for this particular thing, because
Very,
too
very
soft of a metal
poignant.
would not have worked for this particular item, would it? They need something a little stiffer.
It was 2 inches long.
Can I just say I love snack
The whole
cakes?
statue. Yeah, half of that was his dick, right?
It was a fucking
Well,
tripod.
it was at least.
Baby, would you like to give us a...
I need a picture.
Trying to
that comes
find
up,
it.
Okay, yeah.
'cause that's
Good
hilarious.
Lord, no. I mean, it's... Adam, you talked about it being to scale. I'm like, that's not to scale. I was
Okay.
like, man, this statue has a
found
dick
it.
as long as his leg. Like, if I stuck my leg out and I had a dick that long and that much bigger than my leg, that was not proportionate. No way.
Well, no, it was a fertility god.
Well, yeah. A Celtic
Okay.
fertility god. You know, they're obsessed
So
with their
it's a
leprechauns.
2,000-year-old mini statue, and it's of a small man with an oversized penis. This couple in London, they were metal
Is it in
detecting.
London?
Yeah,
You sure? Okay.
it's said to be auctioned off in London.
Auctioned in London doesn't mean it was found in London. You're not
It's
going to
in
find a Celtic fucking statue in the middle of
Hackenby,
London.
Lincolnshire.
Lincolnshire, I'm sure.
Where is that?
I don't know. I don't have my phone to Google it. Can we
I'm
Google
gonna
that and see what
find
country that's
it.
in? I'm going to guess it's Ireland, if I was to guess, but could be wrong.
You know, it's in the UK. It's in England.
Okay. The United Kingdom encompasses.
It's a village and civil parish in the South Kesteven district of Lincolnshire, England.
Where's it located? Really?
The population is 532.
Wow.
Sounds like
Tiny village.
the Google voice, the poor man's Siri. Sounds
The
like that
poor man's
voice.
Siri.
Yeah. It's got like the slight British accent to it.
So
How can you say
anyway-
the poor man's Siri being the
So
holder of an
anyway.
Android phone, man?
Google doesn't do the voice thing very well.
I don't do the voice at all.
I don't either. That's probably
No.
why they don't
I've
focus
never
on
I
been
don't
it.
able
even do
to
the
do the-
notification. Yeah. I just want to see the route. I got it.
Yeah.
Just tell me. Just I'll follow the arrow.
I don't care if there's
I need the
tolls, just get me there.
notification. So anyway, this little dick thing was found 10 inches beneath a field.
That's
So they,
5
like,
times its
found it.
size.
At least.
It was a 2-inch statue, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So 10 inches would
It
be
was
5
so
times
they
its
said it was
size.
probably like a fertility god of like
a Celtic fertility god, right?
Oh, okay. So like in Roman era, people in the military would carry things called penis pendants for good luck.
What do we think the
What?
modern day, the modern day version of penis
A
pendants
lift
are?
kit. Or
Balls on the
two.
You just offended probably 3/4 of the people that may listen
I
to us.
don't care.
Balls on the hitch.
Balls
Hey,
on the
they
hitch.
said it was good luck,
No.
okay? Sometimes you can use good luck to your advantage,
Kaitlyn, I'll agree
sometimes
with
you
that
can't.
to an extent.
Balls
But
on the hitch.
when it's balls on the hitch of like a subcompact car, I'm like, yeah, okay. I was in
But bro, most of the time with the trucks, it's the same thing.
when I was single. I was in Mom's Audi one night, and this girl was talking about how like guys overcompensate with their cars. You know, the bigger their car, the smaller the dick. And I was like, well, you see what I'm driving? This bitch is a Matchbox car.
Smash that theory.
No, that proves the theory. She said the bigger your vehicle, the smaller your dick. And I was in Mom's little
I
tiny
thought
ass
you were
coupe.
talking about
No,
what people use. I really need
I
to
was
pay more
like, this is
attention.
what I drive. You know, what does that say I'm compensating for? It's like, put me in a Fiat if that's the
I was
case.
saying, now you get out of a Ford
Let me get
Focus.
a smart car.
Smart car.
This is
Dude,
also why I bought a
look,
two-door.
I look great in the suit, stepping out of the Ford Focus or the Audi. It's okay. I have to find a reason to wear my suit soon. I just got it dry cleaned
Friday.
after
We
a
can do
fucking
it.
year.
We can do it Friday.
Wear my suit to Cowboy
Sexy Friday?
Sexy Fabulous Friday.
Fabulous Friday there.
What's the weather going to be like?
Chloe
if
just
it's gonna be
texted me
shitty
and
out
said-
here.
No, I think it's like sputtering rain by then. I don't think it's going to be, weather. God. Must be some kind of geographical oddity. Maybe that's not a Brother Where Art Thou. I could be completely wrong.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So
the amount of movie quotes stored in my head, sometimes I
That
don't
part.
know which movie
The
quote it
amount of
is. There's a lot of
TikTok
them.
songs.
Yeah, what's the
TikTok
one in your
songs.
head right now, baby? Capybara? Capybara?
Capybara. Capybara, capybara, capybara,
Mine is
capybara,
Eat a
capybara.
two-week gold unrefrigerated
what the
pie.
fuck are y'all
I
talking
don't
about?
fucking know because I'm never on TikTok.
to die.
Okay, I do know that one because Jay showed me a lot of videos with the dumb ways to die.
I love it. I fucking
Yeah.
love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of dumb ways to die. No, tornadoes.
I
being
like the
of them.
one where it's like, dun, 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 dun. And it's like me going to tell my
It's
boyfriend
With
that
the
I'm
hip
like,
rap?
It's the,
yeah.
It's
Gooses
Aristocats
from Aristocats.
Yes, man, that is everybody wants to be a cat.
So much
Yeah.
so that we have
Love
like
it. Love
14 cats.
No idea what you're talking about.
Abraham DeLacy, Giuseppe Casey, and Thomas O'Malley. O'Malley the alley cat. Miss you, Allie O'Malley. We love you.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Love you bunches.
Yeah.
Mocho, mocho.
No, I mean we're under this pretty severe thunderstorm watch right now, and we've been under a flood watch since this morning. That lasted
Okay,
And it
Friday.
wasn't even raining yet.
7 and 8 o'clock, 80% strong storms. Then it's supposed to get better around 9. Then a 90% chance of thunderstorms around 11. And then it just stays scattered and isolated through the morning.
Man, I made
It's
sure
all
to
the way
plug in
through
all
the
my
evening
stuff.
too, and it doesn't go to like 7 p.m. tomorrow.
I don't know. This only goes to
I think it goes all the way through
7
fucking Friday.
Jesus.
Yeah.
We'll be going to the Cowboy then.
Will we? Yeah. No, we got people talking about
We
calling
don't
in
get
tomorrow
out of the
because
house until
yeah,
Friday night.
we got people talking about calling in tomorrow because they're like, I ain't get my shit with hail damage. I got liability, man. Fuck that.
I can telework tomorrow if I want.
Well, I had a coworker. She told me when it was when we had that ice recently. She said, "Look, I don't care if it's slightly icy. I don't make enough in a day there to pay for the damage to my car, so I'm not gonna go." And I was like,
Yeah.
"You're right. You're
Oh,
right,
baby.
Yeah, if I could make more than that and pay for the car damage and still make money, sure."
Baby, you're right.
Oh no, I'm going to work. It doesn't matter. I've already had a stellar fucking week. I plan on doing just as much. I've almost elevated every day with how much.
So
I sold.
you're gonna go to work even though it's gonna be absolutely freaking ridiculous.
Hell
And
yeah,
we
'cause I'm
just
still
listened to
gonna have-
what TikTok song, Kaitlyn? Dumb ways to die.
I still have people that are relying
we just take
on
a
me to be
second
there and stuff
and
I have to
notice
sell.
That my dog just climbed up in the chair and is fixing to lay down and chill with
sweet
us.
baby.
This has been
Kick it,
updated
homie.
to the Autumn and Maxi Cam.
That's our guest host.
Yes, host, yes.
Oh, he's in yours
Child one
too.
of 4. One of 6, Jesus. Because we have 2 human ones too.
2 human ones. We have 7 feline ones and
He's so handsome.
God,
You
they're
can't
so
see him, but he's got a
3
little bow tie.
human ones.
We are obviously pro animal.
So does that make
on the
us have
show.
10
Animal.
kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So Brandon, my buddy at the time, like I said, he's in 6th grade. I'm in like 4th grade. He might have been in 7th grade. I was in 5th grade. We're 2 years apart. Brandon's not that tall. And especially at that age, like he's not that big. I'm already a little taller than him at this point. Also, I will mention I was probably about 4 inches taller than him, and he still gave me my first black eye. So that's when I learned my lesson about watching out for them short dudes because they're scrappy as fuck. Yeah, no, that was my first black eye ever. Was Brandon climbing me like a fucking tree and socking me in
Oh
the
my
face.
God.
Yeah, happened at the same house. Known him for a long time. So no, we're running across, and it's before the picket fence, baby, was in front of the house. It was just open all the way to the church. Okay, so the church door blows open in the back, and like I said, even for the brief time it was open, it almost flooded the entire kitchen. It's that hard. Well, we all run over to check on the church. Like, Mom was like, well, you got to check on the church. So Dustin tears out. Josh tears out. Me and Brandon tear
Why
out.
are you checking on a church when there's weather going on? Check on
We had
yourselves.
to close the door, man. We're heroes.
You gotta love.
So, no, this is the funny shit.
Ways to
It's Dustin, then Josh, and then Trey, and then Brandon's running after them, and I'm last, and I'm running. And a gust of wind, and Brandon was probably like, I don't want to guess a number. He was not big, okay? A gust of wind comes in so strong. You know the tree in the front yard? The yard in front of that's saturated. And a gust of wind comes so fucking strong that Brandon like flies, okay? Flies, like off his feet into the fucking ground. It was
Did you know that single episode
also- no,
could have
hold on.
precipitated his career as
It got-
a weatherman?
Okay,
Because they had
no.
one time he was like,
I'll do you one better. He's
I'm
a
not-
fireman.
what?
Yeah. He did emergency situations. We were helping out cars, and when that lightning struck that tree on the other side of the road, he was holding a car door and got shocked and electrocuted from it. It went through the car. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, this
And
man
he
was
went
lucky
on
to
to
survive
become a
that shit.
meteorologist.
So this is actually the guy, it was his father that I was in that weird place at 20 years old where I was kind of in limbo, you know. And it was his dad. Mom went out. His dad's wife is like best friends with Mom. So they were out. Mom was out to lunch with Christine Gary, and he was talking about, you know, he's been in commercial concrete for forever. This is how I got my commercial concrete job as his family. So Gary was like, what's Tyler doing these days? Because, you know, he knew me as the fucking pretty boy from high school that didn't really do shit, you know, whatever. Also, he forgets that I worked at a sod farm in high school, but I digress. So got his number, whatever. Mom was like, call Gary. You know, he's got good work. Starts at like 17 an hour. It's road work. And I'm like, shit, I'll leave tomorrow. What are we doing? So I called Gary, and he was like, you think you can handle it? I was like, dude, I've been doing commercial sandblasting for the past 2 years. I'll be okay. Little did I know that was fucking wrong. That shit was the toughest job as a laborer, man. Oh, my God.
I bet it was hot as fuck.
Hell, yeah, it's hot as fuck. We were in a heat wave in Kansas City in the Plaza District trying to build a parking garage. I thought I was going to die. Yeah, rough shit. Dumb ways to die.
Bro, kudos to the people that can do it, because I don't do heat.
Yeah.
I
Well,
will when
you know,
I'm
I ended
cold,
up
but-
getting, I got heat stroke a few years back after, you know, I'd been out the night before drinking like I shouldn't have been. And went to work that day, and it was hot as fuck and humid as hell, and sweating bullets, and I'm like cramping by the time I'm getting out of this rebar hole. I hit the fucking seat of the car when I got picked up, and my whole body locked up. I cramped for like 15 hours straight. Like, had to crawl out of the car, had to crawl into the bathtub with my clothes on because any movement to take them off, I'm cramping. So, my dumb ass, we had a trip going. We were supposed to leave that night and go to Kentucky for the Little Sturgis Bike Rally. And stayed at this bike rally for the weekend. It was an absolute fucking shit show. It was incredible. It's a private event. There's no police or anything like that, and the only security is it's policed and run by the Hells Angels. So, yeah.
So you were taken care of.
Well, look, people don't fuck up there, because if you fuck up and like look, you're talking about 1,000, 2,000 plus bikers in one private area. Okay, stages. If anybody's ever heard Small Town Titans, they're the ones that do that fantastic cover of You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. You're a mean one. It's the rock cover of You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. Small Town Titans.
That could be the name of that little bitty statue they found.
But no, so like they were one of the headliners the second year. It's a badass spot to go to, but it's very private. I mean, there's like a gate guard, you go in. Other than that, it's completely, like I said, it's thousands of bikers. Okay,
basically you fuck
and
up
there's
there,
not a
it's
single
ways to
fucking
die.
fight ever. Not a single fight.
Like,
I also saw my first live voyeurism squirt show. Yeah.
What?
a
A
what?
what?
A live voyeurism squirt show. This place is like Mardi Gras on fucking steroids. Okay, so
Are you talking about what I think you're talking
Yes.
about? Okay.
So look, Sturgis in Wyoming, like the big Sturgis rally.
Wait a minute.
Hold on,
Why
I'm
have I
getting
not
there.
heard this story?
I don't know.
We talk about these things a lot.
This was the weekend I got like heat stroke and went to Kentucky instead. So, fuck, I didn't know we were going here tonight. Yeah, so
What the
Sturgis,
fuck?
the big Sturgis Bike Rally, right in Wyoming, right? That's the big commercialized one. They have reality shows about the bars there and everything. Well, to a lot of, I guess, core bikers, that got too commercialized. You had to be a part of the private party, and that's too much work. There's cameras everywhere. They don't. The guys that don't like that shit don't like that shit, and they don't want to be there. So, Little Sturgis, it's in Sturgis, Kentucky. Is it Sturgis, Kentucky? Yeah, it's in Sturgis, Kentucky.
Oh, so all those people were like related.
No, these are people from all over the United States that don't want to go to the commercial shit. They want to go to the private shit. Okay? No cameras, no nothing. This is a full-on... So when we get there at 2 in the morning, we're driving along the path to go to... everybody's been there for a couple days. We're late getting there. We got like a camp spot on the way back end that we got to set our tents up at and shit. And the first thing we see driving around in this campground is a dude in push-up position on top of a girl, and they're both butt-ass naked, and he's fucking her brains out on the side of the sidewalk, like the side of the drive path. This is that kind of thing.
And y'all are just passing through. You have no idea what's going on. You're just...
Well, our buddy had told us it's kind of wild, but
Oh,
we're
God.
also not expecting
How old are you?
this. Oh, hell, I'm an adult. I'm 23-ish, 24. I can't remember what years. I went 2 years in a row. I was married, and yeah. So that's the kind of deal, and it's a great deal. They have like stunt riding, like during the day. It's just a normal fair like party. Okay,
They have stunt riding.
yeah, it's a motorcycle rally. It's Little Sturgis.
That's not what
the
comes to mind now that you've described.
Yeah.
Hold on,
The
it's
rest of the
second
stunt
biggest
rallies.
motorcycle
That
rally
part.
in the nation because it's Little Sturgis. It's incredible because it's all the people that won the commercial. This, like I said, this shit is privately operated on a private campground, like no holds barred. I mean, it's stuff happens, but like I said, it's heavily policed by the Hells Angels. And if you fuck up, there, like I said, not a single fucking fight. Both times I went, both years, all the way through. Because if you fuck up, everybody's got a problem with it. Because that looks bad. That's bad publicity. It's and. Anything that does happens very fucking low key and no one knows about it and it's never talked about. I won't go into that. But yeah.
What is it called?
Little Sturgis. Well, the Kentucky Bike Rally is what they have to call it for like copyright infringement shit. So no. Yeah, exactly what you think. We're walking around. There's like 2 different giant circles. There's motorcycles going 24 hours a day, like making these small loops. I mean, I'm talking about a 65-year-old woman butt-ass naked getting out of a portable hot tub and hopping on a motorcycle and just driving butt-ass naked through the streets. There's, old titties, young titties, small titties, big titties, flappy, ridiculous. I mean,
It's truly lawless. Like
it is. It's lawless and yet regulated, right? Like I said, nobody fucks up.
Yeah, no, it's like Deadwood. Yeah.
And so we also had the different experiences. No, I digress. I gotta finish some squirt shows. So we're walking around the corner and we see these giant spotlights. Like I say giant, it's probably like a 12 to 15 foot tower lights that somebody has up focusing on this one thing. And there's a crowd around it. And we're like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm kind of peeked through. And it's a woman laid back just playing with herself, right? And everybody's just watching. People are putting money in the tip jar. Okay. There's also several different trucks
Like
that
it's
are
a
made.
sideshow act going down the road.
Yes, exactly. So then, and this is when I realized it was all a show. Some random dude was actually her boyfriend. It was all planned. Random dude walks out of the crowd and just finger blasts the fuck out of her until she squirts like a fucking garden sprinkler. And then they stand up and say, "Thank you, folks. Appreciate you. We'll be back in a little bit."
She's got to go hydrate.
God. The same people were having. They had an invite on the door of their camper that was next door for an orgy at a certain time after the show's done. I kid you not. There's so many. There was a trailer outfitted that had 4 bar stool stations, 2 stripper poles, full speaker outlet. That was like an giant uncovered trailer that came in. This place is absolute lawless, man. This is like old fucking. This is what Sturgis used to be. This is old fucking West shit in the East.
That's nuts. Wow.
And so when first year, my buddy was like, "Look, one thing you don't do, if you see that red fence, that means that is one of the MCs. You do not fucking go in there unless you're personally invited. You don't do it." Which was funny because the second year, we're with a buddy that's actually in an MC, so we camped with all the fucking motorcycle clubs there, and we're with dudes named Wolf. And
They got that one name nickname, yeah.
Wolf is actually the one who he's the one who told me, because our buddy was like, "You got to go up to the clubhouse a couple times up in our city. That way they know you. That way it's cool that you camp with us, because like it's a process, you know." So like I had to kick it to the clubhouse a couple times just for them to be cool with us being camping with them with our buddy, because he was prospecting. And no, I told him, like, at one point I was chatting with Wolf and I was like, "Yeah, man, I collect knives, yada, yada." And I was like, "I got a few history pieces I'd love to bring up to the rally just so you can tell me like a little more about them, because he knows a fuck ton about them." So he's the one who told me that Korean War trench knife bayonet. He's the one who was like, "That's a Korean War trench knife bayonet." And I was like, "How do you know?" He's like, "Because I have one just like it in the fucking Korean War." And I was like, "I fucking believe you. You know, that sounds about right." Yeah, no, that was, man, that was an experience 2 years in a row that was absolute fucking wild. I'd almost forgot about, well, that story hadn't been peeked to my memory in a little bit, but heat stroke. Yeah.
I had a mild case of that when we went to Silver Dollar City.
Did you?
That was
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
I made it all the way out
Hi,
to the
baby.
car, and then
You okay?
Yeah, there's just like not really any place that your brain can really go after that.
It was
Well, it can go to heat
it
stroke.
was absolute unfettered
Can it?
chaos, man. No, it was fettered chaos. There were several people in collars.
Man,
It was insane.
that's a
So
lot.
there was the first year when I was there with my ex-wife, there was this like giant 6'8" man that was completely butt naked, and me and my buddy saw him, and my buddy was like, "Hey, Alex, take a look right." And she's pretty short, and so she looks right, and it's like dick. She was like, "Oh my god." My buddy fucking died laughing. No, it was insane. It was 2 years in a row of 3 days of absolute surreal experience. I mean, I've been to a festival, one festival before on accident.
On accident.
Have you been to Burning Man?
No.
Oh.
No. Something called Swag Fest up in Mulberry.
My science teacher in like 7th grade went to Woodstock.
Oh,
And
wow.
she would just talk about, you know how when KD tells stories, he like starts real low and then like throws some random shit in there that doesn't belong.
Yeah,
Her
things like
stories-
this happened. What?
Yeah. So her
What?
stories were always, she would start like that, but then get up to a place where you think something absolutely crazy is about to happen. And then she just is like, and I can't tell you the rest.
Fuck that. No.
And it was great.
That's a stabbable offense.
It was great. We're still friends on Facebook. Like
Yep.
she's one of the reasons that like I fell in love with science, and
So,
it's so funny because she was just an absolute crazy wild
Yeah.
person when she was
I
younger.
worked with a guy like that.
Really? So we all have a person we know that went to Woodstock story?
Kind of, sort of.
I do. I have one.
I don't
So-
think that mine was really a story. I think it was an aside.
Mine actually connects to the 16-year-old guns pulled on me guy.
It wasn't the grandma.
No.
Was the guy with the knife
No.
and cast?
No. Yeah, that guy. The guy that got the guns pulled on me.
Was he conceived there or something? I don't
No.
know.
So, like I said, I had been giving him rides. You know, he was with somebody who was going to mom and dad's church, and they were like, hey, we can help him out. You know, he's trying to get a fresh start, whatever. I was giving him rides. So I take him and we go to do some work for this lady, and he's like, look, she pays you in like food and weed. Is that cool? You want to go do some work? And I was like,
Is that cool?
fuck it. So this is her name is Nan. Old Nan. Literally, old Nan. Like she lives on top of she lives on Y Mountain in this giant warehouse looking house that's just filled to the brim with shit everywhere. And she really just wants the company, because all you do when you go over there to work is just shift things from like one space to another over and over. It's all very organized. She knows where all of it is. But when I say complete, like a show, like an episode of Hoarders, I mean like boxes and rooms, but it's like a warehouse house. It's a fucking, this shit feels like a fever dream when I talk about it. I promise you. So yeah, Nan, we just move shit for her for hours, you know, just shifting things, and she's going through things and she's telling stories the whole time. And you can tell it's like she's just wanting a connection to talk to somebody. And that's the only reason I like the guy I gave a ride to, because motherfuck, he recognized that and he had been going over there. Well, no, let's take that back. He was a fiend. He did it for the drugs. I don't think he ever recognized the connection. No,
At
she
first
just wanted
it
to
sounded
tell,
like a Disney
she wanted to tell
movie,
her
but
story. Also, most impressive
Now it might
fucking
be Hallmark.
pipe I've ever seen. It was blown glass, and it was a dragon in flight with wings, and the head was the bowl.
wow.
Huh.
Yeah, you had to hold, and it was the wingspan was about like that,
So you puffed out of its ass?
out of the tail. The ass is, you know, if you go with animals with tails, the end of the tail is not the ass. The ass is up underneath, right, you know, in the gooch area of.
But
of
if
the
it was
animal.
on Family Feud, what would the number one answer say?
Tail, because that encompasses both, and that's a safe answer. No, incredible, right? Blown glass, dragon in flight. So no, that's the
Was
first
it
person I
blown
ever met.
glass?
That's the first person I ever met. That and Nan had been smoking a carton of fucking cigarettes since she was about 6 years old. Is what it sounded like.
Sounded like
Nan's
Mariah Carey. Yeah.
I know how you kids love your sloppy joes. Yeah. So, but Nan was one of the most interesting people, man, and just lived up here in Y Mountain. And that's the first person I ever met that legitimately showed me two different ticket stubs from fucking Woodstock where she went. Like, still had them. Obviously, she's a hoarder. She's had everything since she was born, and she was born a long time ago. I'm pretty sure at this point she was like a fucking forest sprite or witch or something. Just one of those eternal beings that exist on Y Mountain.
If the men find out we're witches, they're going to tell
If I
the
try to go
church.
back there, that fucking house is probably non-existent. It's never been there. There's no footprint. It's probably just woods. Yeah, it's one of those fucking things where it's like, I don't know. Like, I haven't told that story in a while. It's like a fever dream. She made us grilled cheese.
Look at you in the deep little crevices of your mind.
She made us a grilled cheese that was out of this fucking world. And then we sat down and, you know, partook of the dragon. Yeah.
Puff the magic dragon.
We did. It may have been magic, bro. Hey, don't tell her what was going on at Nan's house.
Isn't it so cool, though, whenever your brain is able to go to places that it hasn't been in a long time?
I will
Yeah.
attribute that to my recent week and a half of not drinking as often and as much, and actually getting good sleep.
Well,
Yeah.
it's also growing psychological flexibility so that whenever your mind does go somewhere close to those places, like you're not as anxious or like pressed about things. So your mind can actually go there.
Well, I almost think both those stories, the story of when I got the guns pulled on me at 16, same guy, and the stories of meeting someone like Nan, who was, I mean, people like that, whether you want them to or not, and for your benefit or not, and I think it was from a benefit, people like that in your life that you hear these stories from. I mean, everybody's life is an amalgamation of their stories. That's your character. That's who you are. It's your stories, what you've lived, what you've done. Like, cause that's what tells what you are, how you react in certain
situations.
Yeah.
Words are hard.
Certain situations. That's that's kind of you. I mean, you can say who you are any day you want, but how you react and how you live in the stories you have and who you are in that. But it's a balance to it, because that same guy that got guns pulled on me because he was a dumbass and tried to stab somebody, that's the same guy who introduced me to somebody like Dan, who had so many stories that, and that's one of those things, that's the impact you can see where someone who's lived that much life, and I was at that age, that means that I already had a bug in my ear on top of the rest of my family for how you can get out and experience things and see things. Like, I'm talking to a lady who's experienced shit I've never heard about through all ages of history. And so even if it's not a conscious thought at the time at that age, it does impact the way that you know there's more out there than where you're at. Which I think we're all pretty well traveled. Adam, how many states have you been to?
I think somewhere like in the 15 or 16 range.
Okay. Kaitlyn?
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
Hold, please.
I'm gonna look
All
at
right.
it. I'm gonna look that. I've never been outside of the United States.
Rip.
I've never been either. I've never been outside the U.S. No, I don't
Kaitlyn?
have a passport.
Baby, I knew that. Did you not know that?
I thought we
I
talked
don't
about that
think
here
I
before.
knew that you'd know. I mean, you know, I live in Montana, so I've been to Canada a few times.
Yeah, but you've also been to Europe, so
I've been to Mexico,
twice. Yeah.
and I've been to France, and I've been to Italy.
I'm looking up a thing where we can.
Yeah, no, there's an app actually. There should be an or a
No,
link,
no,
or
no,
there's
no,
a link
no.
or something
I
to
got
where you
this.
can
You
pick.
just stay over there, mister. I've been
All
to
right.
France.
So look, that was an accident.
I don't doubt it, baby. We were an accident.
We probably have talked about this. The only reason this podcast exists is because I was telling Black Adam here about how I accidentally went to Paris on my way to Italy. I feel like we've discussed this before.
We have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think we really laid it down.
Yeah. No, that's the whole reason this thing exists. Is because, yeah,
Here we go.
I accidentally went to Paris. Well, I didn't accidentally. They broke a toilet. I feel like we've talked about this.
Been to or traveled through?
That counts.
All right.
Drive through it, yes. Airplane, no.
No, airplane, no. Drive through, yes, because I don't know about y'all, but my family does road trips. Like, we would rather, and drive through counts because we're seeing something important in every state. We're stopping at something important in every state.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not just seeing that whole
No,
downtown
if you're fucking
airport
flying
deal.
and you flew over goddamn some state, that doesn't count.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought.
Flyovers don't count.
Layovers don't count either.
Layovers count if you got out.
Like out of the airport.
Out of the airport.
Okay, yeah.
Layovers count out of the airport. That's the only reason I got into fucking Paris.
That counts
we
if
had
you
an-
get out. Even if
We had
you're-
an 8-hour
okay.
layover in
All
fucking
right,
Paris.
I got another one
And
now.
so we went out and saw Arc de Triomphe and Eiffel Tower and, you know,
All that Les
all that
Miserables
shit.
shit. Yeah.
21.
You've been to 21?
21 states? What's 50 minus 12? 38? I've been to 38. I've been to all but 12 of the United States.
I'm guessing Hawaii's one of them.
Hawaii and Alaska.
Yeah, Alaska's like
I'm pissed at Dad. So Dad's been to all 50 plus Puerto Rico. Like, Dad is also, we've never had an episode on my travels at 19 yet to this point. I don't think we're quite prepared for that one. But
My
I ended up
22.
I called my dad one night and I was like, Dad asked me why I know what driving through a blizzard in Nebraska is like. And then the next day when I called him, he didn't mention anything about it. I'm so happy he didn't, because that's not a story I'm quite ready to tell. That's, did a lot of things at
25.
22.
Minus
25 states, baby. Look at you, well traveled. Adam, do you want to do the map thing? And
I can just think about it.
How nice that must be. We should have called you Dopamine Adam.
That part.
18, 19, 20,
Wow.
20. I'm forgetting the West Coast. 20, 21, 22. Actually, 22.
We're the same.
Yeah.
Yes.
22. Look at that. I got to renew my passport, man. Not because I have anywhere planned to go out of country, but because I always want to be able to go out of country if I need to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, just thinking,
Hey,
like, let's
what
say,
are the non-extradition countries in the world? Bali, right?
well, I mean, let's
Can I
say,
go to Bali?
let's say you're U.S. and you go to like Niagara Falls and you want to cross the border. Oh, you don't have a passport.
I'm not sure, and I believe I've read something where they've changed this based on statute of limitations type deal. But at a certain point in time in the past few years, and like I said, it may have changed. If you had a DUI or DWI in the United States, you cannot cross into Canada.
What?
Yes. And like I said, I think that's been kind of redone in the past few years, but there for the longest, nope.
Yeah, they got some weird. They got some weird shit going on.
There's some Drake lyrics about that. About some of his homies not being able to go to Canada. I mean,
I guess.
Yeah, and I got a DWI at 19. Yeah, I got a DWI at 19. Also, my DWI has never, if you get a DWI, it's supposed to hit insurance. You're supposed to pay that like $475 a month insurance and shit.
Yeah.
You know that my DWI has never hit insurance ever. Ever. My DWI never hit. On record, I've never actually had a DWI. Yeah, on record, I've never actually had a DWI. I don't even know how it happened, bro. Like, you want to talk about lucky as shit?
Clerical error, bro.
I'm telling you, you know what happened is that
Bank error in your favor. Collect $200.
When I had my blow and go, I was getting serviced at Auto Audio. Okay, Auto Audio shut down while I was getting my blow and go service there. In the middle of that 6-month period, they shut down, so I got kicked to like Bryant Tire and Auto, and they were servicing my shit. And then by the time I go to like, hey, I've done my blow and go service, they were like, what blow and go? What DWI? It's never hit my insurance. It's never hit anything. Like, I was like, oh my God, I don't even exist, I guess. Fuck. Talk about some dumb Irish
Disappeared
luck.
into the Matrix.
Dumb Irish luck, my guy.
Yeah, shit. Irish.
Yep, Irish.
You know, there's an
Irish.
opposite version of dumb ways to die. Smart ways to live.
Right?
Smart ways to stay alive. I've already died once in my life. I'll be all right.
You've died twice in your life, I thought.
Died and almost died. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Died early. Well, that was when I was 4 and fell off that 40-foot cliff while sledding. Like, that was pretty close to death. But then I've had like 7 concussions. Kaitlyn, did you not know I died? I'm sick. Yeah, 6 months old. Mom is gonna harp on that story when we do our Mother's Day episode. I know it. She's gonna love it. She's been waiting, like chomping at the bit to do an episode with us, bro.
Love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
I love it.
Excuse me. Why?
Fuck you! Wow.
Hey, Adam.
Yeah.
Knock, knock.
Come in.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The interrupting cow. Except the first time Hayden ever told that joke to Tyler, she was like, the interrupting cow. And he was like, the interrupting cow. And she goes, ah!
Just freaked out.
She just started
it was absolutely
screaming.
hilarious. All right, we're posting it.
So to catch people up, we had an interesting DM to the Facebook social.
Our first DM, our first one.
Y'all already sliding in there.
Yeah.
Did he spit on it when he
So
slid in there or what?
I've known good Denny's and
It
bad
is
Denny's in my
raining,
life,
so
I
we've
don't
got
know.
nature's lube. It's raining.
So yeah, caption is shout out to Danny Meacham for our first DM. We appreciate you, and thanks to people like you, we do know worse.
I love
I feel
how
like,
And then you sent him an appointment.
Contrast too bad. Yeah, well, when you click on our ad campaign thing and it automatically generates a message which said, "Hi Danny, please let us know how can we help you." And he said, "Fuck off with Give or take 12 to 13 Fs, you know. So sent a couple of laugh sweaty emojis and said, we appreciate your feedback. We're not offended because we do know worse. Check out episode 3 next week. And then there's an option to create an appointment for him. So I set him an appointment for 4:45 a.m. on next Tuesday when our 3rd episode drops. And yeah, so he'll get that. We also posted him to the Mac Knows Worst Facebook page if anybody doesn't believe us. Because, hey, there's no such thing as bad publicity. And honestly, I'm really proud that Danny Meacham could be our first DM. We appreciate you, Danny. Thank you.
Let's give him like
The
a
hand
round.
clap. You mean applause? Is that what you're talking about? Applause? The hand clap?
I
Church
can see
clap?
your hands clap. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Words are
Okay.
hard.
Words are hard.
They're all right.
Just about as hard as that 2-inch improportional, disproportional statue from that fucking
Disproportional?
English film. Disproportional?
Bro, the dude was a tripod. Like if the
No,
statue is 2
Adam.
inches tall,
Yeah.
so to scale,
Yeah.
if he's 2 inches
Yeah.
and he's 6 foot
Like I
tall, that's
said,
fucking
it was-
humongous.
His dick in the statue was as long as his leg.
Like
So
the Captain
imagine,
Morgan.
like,
The
yeah.
amount of
my
times they
leg.
say the word
And
dick.
then not to mention that it was about twice the size of his leg. So, yeah, the tripod's leaning to the back or the front. Which one?
It's an isosceles tripod.
Well, you know, he never needs a fucking lawn chair for a baseball game.
means
I'll tell
he's
you
got
that.
at least one acute
Never
angle.
needs a lawn chair for a baseball game. Just leans forward. That's it.
You got to use the Pythagorean theorem to figure out the. What was it? The area of a triangle? No, what was
It's
the?
definitely an obtuse
Pythagorean.
angle, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Wowzers.
Wowzers. You know, it's almost as amazing as maybe having an outfit that has pockets.
I know. And whenever it's like a jumper or a romper, you don't actually just have to coordinate an outfit. You can just put on one article of clothing.
You know, that is, I'm sure, Adam, you probably share similarities. The simplicity of the way I dress is that I'm always going to wear my boots and then a pair of jeans, and then it's either t-shirt with long sleeve over it, or dress shirt. It's so fucking easy. Yeah.
What did you tell me?
Sorry, I was talking to Autumn. Back to the pocket thing. I told Adam that if he never knew what to get me, find my favorite article of clothing and have pockets put on it.
I really like those like little workout like jumpers or whatever.
Yeah.
I need
Do you
some
like to
of
work
those. I do.
Depends on what we're doing.
It's been a minute since I've worked out like that.
You haven't
but
done a minute? Like 2 days?
no, I was talking about actual exercise.
Oh. That one exercise?
Yeah, it's cardio, man. It's actual.
No,
exercise.
that is a leisure activity.
That's exercise.
Double up like,
It burns calories, you know.
It does burn the
Standing up
calories.
burns calories.
yeah.
Sitting down burns calories.
12,887
Sleeping burns
steps a day
calories.
burns
This
calories,
is why-
Kaitlyn.
I
Fuck.
know, this is why
I get my shit
don't-
in. I told Autumn the other day, I was like, man, my chest has gotten bigger since fucking working at shit. Edit out that. My chest has gotten bigger since the job I got last year. Yeah. I threw fucking motherfuckers.
I like being fat and sassy.
Hell yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. What are you going to do with the snowstorm? Well, just get some milk,
You
some
could work
bread,
at
and sit
Highs and I
around,
could work at
fat and
AVs.
sassy.
Fat and sassy. Yes.
Oh, fat and sassy.
Well, fat with a PH because I've been fat with an F and it's not fun.
I'm about to be fat
Hey.
with a PhD.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
That's correctamundo. It's magnifico. It's beautiful.
I'm
Oh,
looking
no.
up like better current events. I'm bad.
Are
at
we doing
this.
more current events?
What else? I'm just
I'm
doing,
waiting to hear. I'm waiting to hear y'all's storm stories. I've shared a couple of mine.
Oh, I got
I
you.
need some big storm stories, man. Like my dad and brothers drove through a tornado before I was born. You know?
I
Yeah.
got you, bro.
Well, yeah, that was kind of the general theme.
Well, go ahead, Miss Kaitlyn, if you got one.
Kaitlyn, you got us a storm story?
We were supposed to have bad weather. They said it was going to skip over us, so we all went to sleep. It was just raining real hard, and it really wasn't that bad. And then all of a sudden, I wake up. I was like, what the fuck was that? And, it's dark. I'm like.
Give us a pause and let me hear your best impersonation of the rain sounds and thunder you heard. I know you do a good rain, so I need to hear it. I need to hear the best impression you have of these thunderstorm rain sounds. Because I know tornado sounds, it sounds like a fucking train's coming filled with debris. So I want to hear some
So
debris.
I was definitely, Jesus. Okay, so keep in mind, I'm like 6, 7, maybe 8.
But you know what sounds you heard. I just want to hear your impersonation of them because you're good at
Definitely.
these sounds, bro. Come on.
Definitely in elementary school.
Yep.
And man, this shit was fucking. I'm trying here.
No, take your time. At some point I want to hear these sounds. You can get through the story and get to those sounds.
Man, it was fucking. And then all of a sudden, I hear boom, crash. And I was like, what the fuck? And you know what? I'm 7. I'm like, it's dark as fuck in this house right now. I am absolutely not fucking moving. I just went right the fuck back to sleep. Nope, it wasn't wet in my room. Fuck that. Dad didn't come get me. I went right the fuck back to sleep. Turns out the tornado went through the backyard and took the shed.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
What?
Oh my
Dude,
God.
it was in the neighbor's
Yeah.
yard. It was like,
Yeah.
oh. Yeah.
It just mandated the shed to another house. They must have needed it
Mandated.
more.
They needed it more
They
than
must
we
have needed
did.
more. Nature said they need a shed and you don't.
Bro.
No, that's man. When I lived on Stanton, that was shit. God.
I don't even
guess
think I
that's
told
been
my
like-
dad that I actually woke up and heard that shit.
Hey, also thank you for the sound effects. That was
Yeah, you're
fucking
welcome. Woo.
fantastic.
That was beautiful.
You.
It sounded like, well, I'm not quite sure yet, but it was fantastic.
It obviously sounded like a terrifying event that
It's
happened to her in
terrifying.
childhood.
No, but it almost sounded like Michael Rodriguez from like Ant-Man and shit. It almost sounded like him.
I was
as
getting
a,
there. Yeah.
It almost sounded like him as a 12-year-old doing a recurring form of it.
Like him constantly.
No, it's just because your voice is a little more high pitched. It sounds like Andy from Toy Story telling a Michael Rodriguez story. Okay, it was beautiful. I loved it, and it was all like pew pew pew. No, so that's we lived on Stanton and not living a good house on Stanton. I mean, this was the third house my buddy's dad owned, and it was cheap. That's why we lived there. And it was a bad enough deal. And we always had a pistol on us if you were outside of the house on Stanton. I mean, my buddy got shot in the driveway of the house up the street. It's Stanton Road, Space Line, Geyer Springs. But that was about 7 or so years ago when that tornado tore through like Baseline Geyer Springs and wiped all that shit out. We were right up the street from that. So it got so bad, tornado sirens going off. I told my ex-wife, I was like, get in the bathtub. I'm putting this mattress over you. And she's like, well, what are you doing? I was like, hold the dog. She's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm going outside to watch this
That
shit.
fucking part. You know what?
I'm going to see my death coming. I'm not hiding in the bathroom. I was like, look, and our bathroom was in a perfect spot. It was middle of the house. No, I may have put it in the closet across from the bathroom because it was shotgun style house. It was middle of the house. It was dead center. Close to him with the mattress. What are you doing? I was like, I'm going to watch it. I want to see it coming, you know? Like,
I will
so I'm out there in
every time
jeans
thunder
and
goes
boots
off,
and no shirt
but I'll
with
be
a
outside.
pistol on. And I'm like, where's the nader? Where you at?
No, but
Yeah.
really, so I was raised. So my dad was a bit of a hypochondriac, but he would always want to do the same thing. As I'm also a hypochondriac. I'm just trying to keep it under control.
That part.
Some therapy and good humor.
Can't get the pressure point out of my head. Can't get this pressure point out of my head. Feeling awake and I'm feeling bad. Can't get this pressure point out of my head. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Sorry, that was one of my favorite songs. That was the first time I heard that song was the first time I got a PSP.
Kind of dating yourself there, bud.
Yeah,
Kind of dating yourself. How does it feel?
That's also the first time I heard P.D. Pablo's song "Vibrate" with the music video, and I was like,
Did you watch the TikTok I sent you
Wow.
today, Adam?
I think. So
This bitch
How many?
goes,
Now I will judge how many TikTok videos you send him a day.
Oh, it's
not many because
no.
he doesn't usually look at them.
It's
but
usually not
I
every day either.
watch a shit
Okay. See,
She knows my standard.
so then you should know if you watched it or not. I was gonna back you up, but you should know if you watched it or not.
She knows my standard, and her
Baby and I have an agreement.
Has good ones, yeah.
Baby and I have an agreement. She knows because she'll send me several TikTok videos in a row, and I used to stress about it and be like,
no,
I can't watch them. I'm busy. And she's like,
it
hey.
waxes and wanes.
Yeah.
Some days when I don't have any time at all, I
Yeah.
don't send you a single TikTok. But there are
No,
other days
but I was
when
more talking about. I'm sorry, baby. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am. Please.
But there are other days when I'm just not fucking doing anything at work, so I'm just scrolling through TikTok
Mm-hmm.
all the time.
No, and I love it because I used to stress about, hey, I can't watch every video. And she finally told me, she was like, hey, watch them when you can. I don't mean you to watch them right then because sometimes I
That
go
part.
through swings of busy and work. I do watch them when I can. And she has the most incredible taste in TikTok videos. It's, yeah. Every single
it's
one's
the
a
For
fucking
You
treat.
page, so I didn't actually choose it. It chose me.
that part.
You didn't choose the TikTok life. The TikTok life chose you.
It did. It really
Hashtag
did.
cowboy. Hashtag line dance.
And it's literally all the things, and it knows just when to send me random
Absolutely.
stuff that I haven't seen
Absolutely.
before, and it knows just when I need to pop back into something like astrology or like. Sometimes I know when I need to get my ass off TikTok because I'm scrolling and I'm just not identifying with anything, so I just get off TikTok for like 2 weeks. And then when I come back, it's just something new.
Fall
I
asleep
feel
with
like
it
you're
on
admitting
and wake
that
up
you
with
should
it
be
still
running
going 8
the
hours
Mangoes
later.
First TikTok
Yeah,
page.
she does. And it's always like ASMR type shit.
That's why you want
love
clips,
it.
right? That's why you want clips, so you can run the
Tingles.
TikTok page, right?
Yes, y'all told me to run the TikTok.
Yes.
You already told me
Jesus.
that.
Well, nobody else heard that.
Anyway, back.
But wait a minute. That means we all need to
Esperto
make a
momento.
pact right now that like we're going to make a good effort to like take more random videos of
'Cause
ourselves doing things.
We
Okay.
do. Autumn and
I'm not
I,
very good at
baby
it,
and I
but
have
okay.
lots of random pictures and shit.
Well,
But
we've got lots from like in the beginning, but like when we're so
We have a
busy,
lot
we
now.
don't have a lot. We do.
we still do. No,
we got birthday
I
stuff,
take
too.
several all the time.
You do. I just
Yeah.
never see them because they're not on my phone.
I know, but we'll, be drinking at the house chilling, and we take lots of selfies. We take videos.
We're not those people.
Well, I have a really, really, really good camera on my Galaxy S22 Ultra.
And I've never been in a relationship where anybody wanted to take pictures or
And
videos
yet,
with me.
My
I
iPhone right here
document
takes
shit,
better
man.
pictures than yours.
I'm one
he
of
has
those
a better phone than I do.
because obviously with my stories, it takes very little for me to remember a fucking story that's locked in my head. So when I have pictures of things, pictures to me are stories. Because as soon as I see a picture, I can go
picture is
back to
worth
that
1,000
memory.
words.
I can
Immediately
go back to that memory.
transport.
Yeah,
Yep,
I'm there,
yep,
man. I
yep.
know, and I feel like it's the same for all of us. I mean, all of us
Oh,
have
yeah.
told stories so far that
Can I tell
we
you
knew.
something fun?
Oh, baby, yes. Is this gonna give us the mental reason why our brain does this?
Kind of.
Oh, please.
So
Okay.
It's
Yup.
so
This is one of my
whenever
favorite segments
you
when she does this.
remember things, right? So your memory is never the same. And I know I've talked about this in another episode, but anytime you access something in your memories, you pull it back out, you kind of re-remember it, and then you store it back. It's never actually like 100% the same. However,
So-
whenever you are first remembering events, the memory is stronger if you amygdalize those events, which means that it goes through your amygdala, which means that there's like a lot of emotion going on, and emotions are heightened by all of your sensory organs. So if you're smelling something strong, tasting something strong, seeing something provoking like pictures, feeling something that feels like something else, the more feeling and the more intensity that you attach to that, the better you're going to be able to remember it, and the more you're going to be able to remember
So
it.
does that tie into with your amygdala remembering those responses to certain situations? Does that tie into people that have relapses in PTSD that are so extreme?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because that's hitting that same emotional state in your brain, right? So
Yeah.
so that's why, as opposed to a positive trigger for remembering fond memories, that's a negative trigger that your brain goes into remembering exactly what it was like when you were in the middle of that. And
No,
so is that a PTSD?
Is
I mean,
something
it's
that like I'm just
Yeah.
not as familiar with brain stuff
um,
because I know that it's the amygdala because that's your emotion system.
Yeah.
It's also got a probably got a lot to do with your brain just kind of being on. See, I can't make like planned sounds. I just kind of like.
Identify as a pterodactyl.
That's like whenever I'm upset and I don't want to yell at the kids, I'll just make like some just absolutely weird abnormal sound. I'm like, because I'm just like, I'm not gonna yell at you, but I also don't know what to say.
That fucking part.
See, that's the problem with my booming voice is like, even when I'm quiet, it's like, hey. And I'll be like, stop yelling. And I'm like, I haven't even raised my voice at all. But the tone of your voice was loud. And I'm like, but I wasn't loud. But the tone of your voice. And that is, like I said, my dad always spoke. He was like, man, look, talk quiet because people got to shut up to listen to you.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, well.
That's impossible. I'm a loud individual.
I'm a loud individual that has worked on being a quieter individual.
I start
and still not
talking
great at it.
to myself, and my voice raises an octave every 30 seconds. Like
Baby,
I've
how
definitely worked
how
on it,
often do
but-
I have to tell you, I'm right here.
all of it,
Stop yelling.
all of it.
15 minutes to land.